In this video, we're gonna check out Malaysia Airlines' regional business class product offering from Colombo to Kuala Lumpur. I'm going to show you an in-depth experience of the service and product offering available. We'll explore all aspects of the cabin and see whether paying a premium price for business class is really worth it. So join me for another trip report and thank you for tuning in. Alright. I never want to start my videos on a sour note, but after what happened to me at Colombo Airport, I'm going to make an exception. If you're a Sri Lankan Airlines lover, please go watch another one of my videos right now because you're going to be very disappointed with what's coming up when you find out what kind of scam operation your beloved airline runs. So after a successful bid to upgrade into business class from Colombo to Kuala Lumpur, I was excited to check out the business class product at Colombo. Now, for those of you who don't know, Colombo Airport runs a little private check-in for business class passengers, and this service is called the Silk Route. Now, I read up all about the Silk Route before I actually went to the airport and was pleased to see that it was available for all airlines. Or so I thought. So we pull up to the Silk Route check-in area, and I asked the guy if Malaysia Airlines passengers are allowed to go through, and his exact words were, "Yes sir, all airlines." So quite similar to what their website says. Good. Walk in and hand my passport over to the lady and she says, "Sorry sir, you need to fly business class on Sri Lankan Airlines to use the Silk Route." I said I'm flying business class, but your website says it's available for all airlines. She says, "No, it's only available if you pay extra money. Only Sri Lankan Airlines passengers are allowed to use it for free." I said, "Your website says all airlines can use it." She said, "Please refer to www.airport.lk, which was the same website that I was looking at. Now, nowhere on this website does it actually say that Sri Lankan Airlines passengers can use this facility for free, but other airlines need to pay extra for it. It does have a couple of prepaid packages, but it doesn't specify that other airlines have to use this. I would just assume that if you're a regular passenger and just want to use a Silk Route, that's what the prepaid packages are for. Eventually, we got nowhere and the porters unceremoniously dumped my bags back into my vehicle and sent us off to the regular check-in. Sri Lankan Airlines, what on earth are you doing? And I wanted to make sure that I was blaming the right person here, so I even asked Sri Lankan Airlines on Facebook just to be sure that it was them that ran this operation. No joke, it was them. So my advice is be prepared to fork out a few extra dollars if you want to use the Silk Route at Colombo and you're not flying with Sri Lankan Airlines. And my second piece of advice is don't trust everything you see on their website because each employee at the airport is going to have a different version of how things run. Now, most of you might say that I gave up too quickly, but remember that this is a government-run endeavor, and dealing with the Sri Lankan government employees requires a certain level of patience that I simply didn't have that night, so let's get on with the rest of the trip report. Good evening everyone and welcome to Colombo Airport. Today we're traveling to Kuala Lumpur with Malaysia Airlines in business class. Malaysia Airlines run a daily operation between Colombo and Kuala Lumpur. Now, I would say there's a fair bit of competition between this route, but Malaysia Airlines tends to deploy a 737-800 on this sector. Check-in for the flight took about a minute and was much better than my Singapore Airlines experience that I had in March. He warned, however, that this is peak hours, so Colombo's immigration will take you a while. Colombo, or BIA as it's commonly known, is the primary operational hub for Sri Lankan Airlines, and at this hour there's flights to Melbourne, Frankfurt, Sydney and Paris, which are all extremely high traffic routes, so plan your travels to navigate the crowds accordingly. Fortunately for us this evening, we get lounge access to the Aralia Lounge. Now, this lounge is actually a pretty neat little corner at the airport. It's not massive, but it's got a sleek wooden finish and plenty of seating and charging ports. There's also lots of nice food options available with both local and Sri Lankan options available to consume. Now, as far as features go, it's got this little play area thing kinda awkwardly stuck in the middle of this weird cubicle, and it has a clean toilet but no showers unfortunately. But the toilet is clean enough and has sufficient amenities. Here comes the jet arriving as 9 Mike Sierra Mike, fresh from Kuala Lumpur. It's a 10.9-year-old 737-800 arriving on MH179. It takes the ground crew about 30 minutes to disembark everyone, clean the jet, and then send it back to KL.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Boarding for Malaysia Airlines. Airlines flight MH178 to Kuala Lumpur will commence now. We would like to invite passengers requiring special assistance and families traveling with
The seat assigned to us is 3 Alpha. It's a window seat with above average legroom and charging ports for your devices. It's got a rather vintage entertainment system because, like I said, this is the old 737-800 series, but for 3 hours on a red eye, what were you planning on binge watching anyway? You'd honestly rather sleep. There's 2 buttons on your armrest that allow you to control the recline and footrest from your seat. The very friendly crew member named Jazilla, who I had a chat with, came to offer everyone a welcome drink. They serve either orange juice, apple juice, or water. Something interesting you might want to know about the Malaysia Airline safety video is that when it first released, the video requested passengers to turn their phone off, but a few months later Malaysia said that you don't need to turn it off, you just need to put it on flight mode. So they've edited the video and muted the section where they yell turn your phones off. It's now been replaced with an illustration saying turn on flight mode instead. Now, once we departed Colombo, the crew came around to take our orders. They give you a menu featuring what's available, and the Malaysia Airlines regional business class product features 3 available main course options. All 3 of them were Asian options, and one of them was even a Sri Lankan option. They had the all-famous signature satay that comes in either chicken, beef, or lamb, or a combination of however you want it. Of course I was gonna try it, and oh my god, it was so good. For the drinks, I noticed that they had a Nescafe Gold option, so I asked if they could add ice into it, and it was a refreshing kick that I definitely needed today. For starters, we had a mixed salad with a vinaigrette dressing, pretty basic if you ask me, but it was alright. For the main course, we were offered sweet and sour fish with rice and vegetables. I must say that it actually tasted quite good, and even though I'm a little apprehensive to try seafood when I fly, Malaysia Airlines did a pretty good job at the catering. Nothing extravagant for dessert, just a bowl of fresh fruits. But overall, I was pretty satisfied with the catering. Now, one thing I will add is that Malaysia Airlines really needs to get their in-flight entertainment system upgraded because it's very dated and my headphones were not 100% functional. The flight time between Colombo and Kuala Lumpur is about 3 hours and 30 minutes, and I requested an amenities bag and I was actually quite shocked with what they gave me. No amenities pouch in business class, but she tried her best to find whatever she could and gave me plenty of them. She asked where I was connecting to, and she even gave me an eye mask and earplugs. So the product offering needs to improve a lot, but the staff are genuinely trying their best to make up for it. Hey everyone, good evening and welcome from the business class cabin of Malaysia Airlines flight MH178 from Colombo direct to Kuala Lumpur. We've just finished our dinner and I must say that it was quite yummy. The service on board tonight's flight is exceptionally good. The one cabin crew member in business class is doing a very good job, so I'm very satisfied with that. We are experiencing some buckets of turbulence. They've had us strapped in for pretty much the entire flight, and the fasten seatbelt sign has just been switched off, but it was on for like the last hour. And yeah, so far I'm pretty impressed. In a short while we'll do a loo review, and then we'll start commencing our descent into Kuala Lumpur. Hello everyone and welcome to the toilet of MH178. We've got a functional sink, some hand soap. They've also got some amenities here, which is pretty cool. And the toilet is in a very clean condition. Not the most spacious, but good enough. I've got an ashtray down there and a coat hook up there. All in all, a pretty satisfactory product. Now, when I was on the flight, I didn't think much about the physical product offerings, but I thought about it a lot retrospectively, and it's a bit sad that they don't deploy the newer generation 737-800s on routes like this. So passengers are constantly being presented with shortcomings like barely functional headphones, no amenities, and worn-out planes. But there is one thing that Malaysia Airlines has always been good at: their customer service. Malaysian hospitality, I've come to realize, isn't a term that they use lightly. There's a genuine sense of warmth and almost friendship that their staff are trying to develop with their passengers. It's their friendliness that kinda makes you forget about the dated product offerings. Now, the stewardess Jazilla that I spoke to said that way back then the staff were given a 24-hour layover in Colombo, but after Sri Lanka's economic crisis, they canned that privilege for the staff, which means that their flights to Colombo are always turnarounds. Not only are they doing a great job, I also have a lot of respect for how hard they work. So having weighed everything, I'm giving Malaysia Airlines a 6 out of 10. Now, for your information, a one-way economy class fare between these two ports on Malaysia Airlines will cost you about 106,444 Sri Lankan rupees, or about 500 Australian dollars. Remember to share this video with your friends and family, follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to support me. All travel is fully funded by myself, and your support goes a very long way. In future, if you don't want to miss out on my updates, hit the bell button icon to get notified whenever I deliver content. That's all from me, have a pleasant day, and I'll see you soon in another trip report. Bye bye.
To all visitors, selamat datang to Malaysia, and to all Malaysians, welcome home. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is switched on.
Thank you very much. See you later. Bye.